want to say one more thing rather explosively.
Joe Rogan and Candace Owens are both saying that something doesn't add up about Charlie Kirk's case, and when you hear what they found, you'll understand why so many people are starting to question everything.
I want to say one more thing rather explosively. 3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie.
Look, Joe Rogan and Candace Owens are raising serious suspicions, and you were right to click because what they're revealing is shocking. In this video, you'll find out exactly what Joe Rogan said about the strange details that just don't make sense. You'll also hear Candace Owens' explosive revelations from her own investigation. We're talking about video clips that will be shown later in this video, and you'll see why both of them believe the official story has major problems. We're talking about impossible weapons, decoy suspects who somehow appear at every major tragedy, text messages that sound fake, and a widow who seems way too happy. This whole thing feels sus, and people are finally starting to ask the right questions.
The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay? He did not express that to me, so I am telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that. Now, again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they that he thought were going to kill him?
Before we get into the suspicious stuff, let's catch up on what happened, because you need to know the basics first. Charlie Kirk was the founder of Turning Point USA, a major name in conservative politics. He was young, only 31 years old. On September 10th, 2025, he was hosting a student Q&A event at Utah Valley University when he was shot and killed. Within just 33 hours, authorities arrested a 22-year-old named Tyler Robinson. They said he did it. Case closed, done deal. But here's where it gets weird. Candace Owens launched her own investigation and uncovered some seriously disturbing details. The day before he died, Charlie Kirk told 3 different people that he believed someone was going to kill him. 3 people, just one day before. Then Joe Rogan looked into the official story and said it was bizarre. Too many things didn't add up, from strange weapons and impossible timelines to suspects that made 0 sense. So, let's break down exactly what they found. Because once you see these details, you're going to have questions too.
One of them being the plane that people have recognized is military. That's tail number N1098L. So this plane left from Texas, went over to Utah right about the time that Charlie got assassinated. It dipped real low. It seemed like, who knows what this plane was being sent there for, but the fact that this plane had been used in the military rightfully alerted people to the fact that they may have had some knowledge. This plane may have had some knowledge of what was going to occur. But one thing I want to clarify for you is that that plane was being contracted. You guys noticed that it was owned by LaSalle Aviation LLC. We are awaiting more information, but I just wanted to let you know that you recognize that. It is strange. It did happen. There's no question. I've been saying from the beginning, this was a military operation. It's very obvious. The more you peel back the onion, it is very obvious this was a military operation, so it's fitting that you would have a plane that the military certainly uses.
Let me start with the most chilling part. Candace Owens revealed something that should have been front-page news everywhere, but it wasn't. The day before Charlie Kirk died, he told 3 different people that he thought he was going to be killed. Not weeks before, not months before, the day before. And this isn't just a rumor. 2 of those people have written communication from Charlie. Actual text messages, actual proof that Charlie knew something bad was about to happen. Listen to what Candace said. 3 people told me off the record. 2 people have this in written communication from Charlie. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Think about that for a second. Charlie Kirk knew. He warned people. And less than 24 hours later, he was dead. So here's the obvious question. Who is they? Who did Charlie think was going to kill him? And why isn't anyone investigating this? Candace is urging the people Charlie talked to come forward publicly, because right now, this information is being ignored. And that's a serious problem. Now, let's talk about something even stranger, a military plane. Candace Owens revealed that on the day Charlie Kirk was killed, a military aircraft flew from Texas to Utah. It arrived right around the time Charlie was shot and then dipped unusually low over the area. Tail number Entone 98L. Why would a military plane be there at that exact time? What was it doing flying that low? Candace points out that this plane had been used by the military before. It was owned by Lassie Aviation LLC, but who was it being contracted out by? Nobody's saying, and here's what makes it even more suspicious. Candace has been saying from the beginning that this looked like a military operation. The more you peel back the onion, she said, the more obvious it becomes that this was a military operation. If this really was just one 22-year-old acting alone, why was there a military plane circling the area? That doesn't make sense for a random shooting, does it? Candace even called out the FBI director saying, "Hey, Kash Patel, most transparent ever. Except when it comes to Epstein, what's up with this plane? You certainly have knowledge of who contracted it." But guess what? No answers. Just silence. And when people don't answer obvious questions, it makes you wonder, what are they hiding?
Here's the other thing. They said that he took it apart and then put it back together again. Shut the fuck up. Do you know how much time it would take to do that if you were highly skilled?
To disassemble a gun.
To disassemble a rifle so that you can get it in a backpack. And by the way, not gonna fit. Not gonna fit.
In the backpack.
And then somehow or another reconnects it once he gets off the roof? What? This story is horseshit. Like,
Yeah.
none of these things make any sense to me. Like, you're telling me that this kid who's not military trained, this guy, first of all, how did he get to the roof? How come nobody was looking? How come nobody was like, there's a direct line of sight between where he's sitting and those roofs? You guys didn't check? You don't have a drone? Like, that's insane. So he's on the roof, he shoots, he jumps from the roof. He jumps down 14 feet.
Now, let's get to what Joe Rogan found. Because when he heard the official weapon story, he immediately called it out. According to the official report, Tyler Robinson used his grandfather's World War I rifle, an antique gun with no serial number. That's already strange. Why would a 22-year-old use a weapon that's over a century old? But it gets even crazier. Officials claim Tyler took the rifle apart, stuffed all the pieces into a backpack, climbed onto a roof, and then reassembled it before opening fire. Joe Rogan couldn't believe it. Listen to what he said. They said that he took it apart and then put it back together again? Shut the fuck up. Do you know how much time it would take to do that, even if you were highly skilled to disassemble a rifle so that you can get it in a backpack? And by the way, it's not going to fit. Not gonna fit. And Joe's absolutely right. Have you ever seen a World War I rifle? Those things are huge, heavy, long, and built for trench warfare. You can't just take one apart and toss it in a backpack like it's a Lego set. Even if you could somehow fit it, how long would it take to put it back together? You'd need tools, time, and training, none of which a random 22-year-old would likely have, especially while perched on a rooftop with people walking below. Joe summed it up perfectly. This story is whores. Like, none of these things make any sense to me, and he's right. The weapon story doesn't hold up under even basic questioning.
There was that one guy who was the decoy. All right, so you got this guy who's an older guy who starts yelling out. Didn't he take his pants down? He took his pants down. This guy was at 9/11. He was at the Boston bombings.
All the hits.
He called in a fake bomb at another place, and then he did this at this thing. Right after, so somehow or another, this guy has the state of mind that the moment someone gets shot, he yells out and says, I did it, and takes his pants down or something like that. I don't know exactly what he did. Then, ready for this? He gets arrested for child porn right away.
Okay, now we need to talk about the decoy guy because this is where things get absolutely insane. Joe Rogan mentioned an older man who was at the scene. Right after the shooting, this guy reportedly started yelling, I did it, and then bizarrely took his pants down. Yeah, seriously, that alone is strange enough. But here's where it gets even weirder. This same man was allegedly seen at 9/11, the Boston Marathon bombing, and has been linked to fake bomb threats at other major events. What are the odds? Joe Rogan asked the perfect question. How are you at all these different things? What are the odds? Like, if someone ran it through one of those ChatGPT or Perplexity probability things, what are the odds this guy would be at all those events and be involved? Like 0, exactly. Either this man has the worst luck in human history, randomly showing up at every major tragedy, or something else is going on. Maybe, as Joe joked, he's professionally insane. Maybe he's a plant, someone deliberately placed to cause confusion and distraction. And then, right after the Charlie Kirk incident, this so-called decoy guy gets arrested, but not for anything related to the shooting. Instead, he's charged with child-related offenses, which conveniently makes it impossible for anyone to interview him about what he saw that day. I mean, come on. Does that sound like a coincidence to you? Because it definitely doesn't sound like one to Joe Rogan.
Most interest to me, what I've learned, is that his father does not believe, his parents don't believe that their son committed this crime. I was like, huh? Excuse me? That's a far cry from what the media has been telling us. Remember, the media presented this amazing story. The father realized his son was guilty, so it goes, right? And then he phoned over a friend to help him convince his son to turn himself in, because this guy, you know, this mysterious guy was a friend and just had a connection with Tyler. And eventually they said, you got to do the right thing here. We know this is you. That was the vibe. Certainly, that's what the media was putting down for us to pick up.
Now, let's talk about Tyler Robinson's family, because what Candace Owens uncovered is completely different from what the media has been reporting. The official story says Tyler's father realized his son was guilty and turned him in a neat little good dad does the right thing narrative. But according to Candace, that's not what actually happened. She spoke to people close to the Robinson family, and they told her Tyler's parents don't believe he committed this crime. They are convinced he's innocent. Listen to what Candace revealed. Of most interest to me, what I've learned is that his father does not believe his parents don't believe that their son committed this crime. So, who actually turned Tyler in? According to Candace, it wasn't his parents. It was a family friend, a man who used to be a police detective. He told the family that Tyler had been identified as the shooter and warned that if he didn't turn himself in peacefully, the SWAT team would come for him. Tyler was confused. He denied killing Charlie Kirk. And according to Candace's source, Tyler had never even set foot on the UVU campus. He was accepted to Utah State University, not Utah Valley University. So how could he possibly know the UVU rooftop layout well enough to scale the buildings and make a precision shot? The official story doesn't explain that. And here's another strange detail. Candace's source says Tyler was near the campus that day, which might explain the Dairy Queen photo people saw. But if he never attended UVU, what was he doing there in the first place? Too many questions, not nearly enough answers.
I don't know. It's one thing if your husband dies, period. It's another thing if your husband dies at age 31, unexpectedly. It's another thing if your 31-year-old husband unexpectedly dies because he gets publicly executed with blood gushing out in front of thousands of people screaming and running away. That's like something that's...
Now, we need to talk about something uncomfortable Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica. Look, nobody wants to point fingers at a grieving widow. It feels wrong. But a lot of people have noticed things that just don't sit right. Nick Fuentes brought this up, and whether you agree with him or not, he's saying what many people have been quietly thinking but are too afraid to say out loud. According to reports, Erica took control of Turning Point USA just 72 hours after Charlie died 3 days. She was filming content, appearing on shows, and even smiling on camera. Nick Fuentes said, "It's one thing if your husband dies, period. It's another thing if your husband dies at age 31 unexpectedly. It's another thing if your 31-year-old husband unexpectedly dies because he gets publicly executed, with blood gushing out in front of thousands of people screaming and running away." And he's right about one thing that's not a normal situation. If your husband was shot in front of a crowd, you'd expect at least some time before returning to the spotlight, let alone talking about the business side of things. Nick continued, "Everyone was thinking it. No one wants to say it because it's inappropriate or insensitive. I'll be the one to say it. I think it's super inappropriate. I think it's weird. It's bizarre. Something is off there, and I don't like it. Now, to be fair, everyone grieves differently. Maybe this was Erica's way of coping, throwing herself into work to stay busy. But the timing raises eyebrows, especially when paired with other details. Candace Owens claimed that money had gone missing from the organization and that Charlie was planning a major audit right before he died. If that's true, then these questions about leadership, timing, and motive become a lot more serious and a lot harder to ignore.
Someone says she doesn't believe Charlie Kirk was killed by Tyler Robinson because Kirk appeared to her in a dream. Yeah, this is what I want to get to real quick.
Said, had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed. And so for me, you don't have to believe that, but I do believe that. I sure hope if I was assassinated in front of the world that he would raise hell to figure out what actually took place in that day. That's not being a friend. A friend is not someone who stays silent when lies are being told by the federal government. That's not a friend. Again, emotionally manipulative.
Speaking of that audit, let's talk about the money because this might be the most important part of all. Just 1 week before Charlie Kirk died, he announced a massive internal audit at Turning Point USA. He said millions of dollars were missing, and he was determined to find out where the money went and who was responsible. Then, 1 week later, he was dead. You do the math. Candace Owens also revealed something deeply personal. She said she had a vivid dream where Charlie came to her and told her he had been betrayed. Now, you don't have to believe in dreams, but Candace does. And she said she felt strongly that the truth about who betrayed Charlie is going to come out soon. Here's what she said. I don't know who exactly it is that betrayed him, but I also felt in the dream that it's soon going to be revealed that it's actually inevitable. There is nothing and no one that's going to stop the truth from coming out, and it's going to have international consequences. International consequences. That's a big statement. So what could Charlie have uncovered that might have global impact? And why aren't the people closest to him demanding answers? Candace pointed out that it's been Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and herself asking the tough questions, not the people who worked with Charlie every single day. She said, "Why hasn't anybody made that move to vindicate what I've been saying about what he was going through?" That to me registers as very suspicious. And honestly, she's not wrong when money disappears, when questions go unanswered, and when those closest to the situation stay silent. It always means there's more to the story.
This just happened. We just found out that Charlie Kirk got shot.
It's awful.
And is he dead?
That's what was just
One of the guys out there just said it was
spoken
confirmed that
in
he's
the
dead.
in the lobby was just
I've been looking. I haven't seen anything that said confirmed.
Whoa.
murder for having a different opinion from somebody else.
Yeah.
Different ideology from somebody else.
Let's go back to when this first happened, because Joe Rogan's immediate reaction on his podcast shows just how shocking it was. Joe was recording live when the news broke that Charlie Kirk had been shot. You can hear the disbelief in his voice. This just happened. We just found out that Charlie Kirk got shot. It's awful. And is he dead? Joe was scrambling for information in real time, checking Twitter, refreshing feeds, trying to piece together what was happening. You could feel the shock in the room. It doesn't seem real, Joe said. It seems very surreal. It's going to take a long time before we reference this as something that happened. He also talked about how divided the country has become and how some people would actually celebrate Charlie's death simply because they disagreed with his politics. No one deserves this, Joe said. No one who just has different opinions deserves that. But I know people are going to celebrate it because this is a uptime, and people have really fallen into this trap of us versus them. And sadly, Joe was right. That's exactly what happened. Some people did celebrate, and that's disturbing. It shows just how far things have gone when political disagreement becomes an excuse for dehumanization.
Answering questions. Turning point. Answering the questions is what he was doing in the second that he died, okay? And we all are feeling spiritually the same way, so I'm just gonna say it. They're not grieving right. It's not up to us to decide how people grieve, but I will say unequivocally that you shouldn't grieve by lying or by gaslighting. Is that fair? Can we all agree? You should not grieve by lying and gaslighting the public.
You had a bunch of, if you're going to kill a guy, you had a bunch of other wacky shit that doesn't make any sense, and you spam it out there at the same time. You leave a gun that didn't do it out in the woods. You do a bunch of shit like that.
So, why does all of this matter? Why should you care that Joe Rogan and Candace Owens are questioning the official story? Because when major voices start asking questions, it usually means something isn't right. When facts don't line up, people in a free society should demand answers. That's not a conspiracy theory, that's basic common sense. Candace Owens pointed out that she's being attacked just for speaking up. Critics say she should stay quiet and let the family grieve. But she fired back. They want us to believe that the best way to honor Charlie is to shut up the exact opposite of what he spent his life doing, asking questions. And she's absolutely right. Charlie Kirk built his career on challenging ideas, debating tough topics, and pushing for the truth. So, if anything, the best way to honor him is to keep asking questions about what really happened. Joe Rogan also made a powerful point about all the confusion surrounding the case. If you want people to lose faith that anyone's ever going to solve anything, you flood them with a bunch of crazy, nonsensical stuff all at once? Maybe that's the plan. Maybe all these strange and conflicting details are meant to distract and confuse to make sure nobody ever figures out what really happened. And that's exactly why this matters. Because once people stop asking questions, the truth disappears. Let's wrap this up. Joe Rogan and Candace Owens have both raised some serious questions about what really happened in Charlie Kirk's case. We've got a weapons story that makes no sense, a decoy suspect who somehow shows up at every major tragedy, a warning from Charlie himself the day before he died, a military plane circling the area at the exact same time, a widow who took over the organization just 72 hours after his death, and millions of dollars missing from an audit Charlie was about to launch. So here's the big question. Was this really just one 22-year-old acting alone? Or is there something much bigger going on that we're not being told? I don't know the answer, but what I do know is that the official story has more holes than Swiss cheese. And when people like Joe Rogan and Candace Owens start asking questions, maybe it's time we all start paying attention. What do you think? Do these inconsistencies make you suspicious? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and I genuinely want to know what you think. And if you want to stay updated as more details come out, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because something tells me this story isn't over yet. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.